Hi gang, this is Hexy. Welcome back to Brazen Chariots. We're playing the 5.7 3-map campaign. And we have completed the first turn. And this is when you're playing in a wide open front like this, with just all kinds of lanes to move down. Granted, it is the desert, so. And I mean, most of this is flat desert. There's just, you're trying to figure out what your options are, what you're going to do is can be difficult. I mean, I thought about this 2 or 3 times. So most of the Allied forces started here in this area here, and then 22nd Armored Brigade came in down here, started down here, and on first turn, they're pretty much their whole shebang comes in, and then you go back way back over here to the east, and you've got the Italian lines or the axis, what they call the frontier, all in forts and minefields all over. That's a lot of minefields, man. That had to be a lot of work for all that stuff to get put down. So from what I understand, the original British or Allied plan was for I think it was 4th Infantry, 11th Infantry, and I think one of the armored units were to pretty much occupy fighting here while all the mobile forces went around. And if I remember right, they were supposed to go in like 3 wings up, eventually to clear Tobruk out way up yonder. But I think they were supposed to have a holding force on the left, and then a force in the middle and a force to the right. I know they ended up going towards Bardia, which is way over yonder. Okay, there's Bardia. I believe Tobruk, though, opening up the route to Tobruk to free those forces up there, because I think Montgomery or not Montgomery. Listen, I'm already thinking about Montgomery. Cunningham or Auchinleck. Auchinleck was the overall commander. Cunningham was 8th Army. So they knew that if they could open Tobruk up, they could pump reinforcements in up there at Tobruk and then just destroy, pretty much, knock Rommel out of the desert. And during the fight, from what documentaries I've been watching and reading and stuff, that they did actually have it open, but the Germans shut it back down. So, and from what I also understand, this was more of a lucky win for the Brits or the Allies, because Cunningham wanted to pull back to their initial starting lines to the east side of the frontier, and Auchinleck, and this was after a lot of the fighting around City Rizet and other places, because Cunningham, I guess he overestimated Rommel's forces, or he underestimated his. And Auchinleck, I guess, shows up at the right time and makes the decision for Cunningham that no, they're going to continue to fight. And somewhere along the line, that I don't know how it paid off, but it paid off, because eventually I believe the Allies won this. All right, so what did I decide to do? What did Hexy Cunningham decide to do? So I don't know how bold of a move this is, but I'm doing that thing too, where I'm splitting. But I'm going to split with 4th Armored Brigade and support group headed towards Bardia. Now, I'm starting the second turn here, and I've got 3 big old stacks of Allied reinforcements coming on, that's going to help, because right now it looks a little thin. 4th Armored Brigade rolled up here, and they were pushing Vekmar's screen line back. Camp group of Vekmar, he's only got 2 units on the board. And eventually they destroyed the 4-stepper screen unit, just constantly kept pushing him away, and then they destroyed him. Well, they finished their second activation, which they only moved from about right here to there. So the screen did its job, even though they lost the unit. And it gave 21st Panzer time to respond. And let me tell you something. 21st Panzer came down and just literally slapped 4th Armored in the face. I mean, they punished them, and I don't think they took, if any damage, they took very little. Look at my little sheet here. So 21st, yeah, they ended up taking like 3 steps of damage, you can see right there. All right. Yes, I am using the sheets to keep it clean. But 4th Armored Brigade, if you look over there on the right, they took quite a few steps, okay, with a unit lost. Now, granted, replacements will apply to this game. So the support brigade sitting, you can see the top, they're just below the armored brigade here. They're going to move forward too. All right. Now, a majority of the German forces are locked. The Bardia units up there they're not going to come out, okay? But up top, you've got 15th Panzer. Afrika Division is locked, but 15th Panzer I couldn't use them this turn, they were done, but they're not locked. So second turn, they'll come into play. All right, so what to do with, well, we knew what 22nd Armor Brigade was going to do. They were going to have to deal with the Arrietty Division. And it was get up there and screen them or hit them. So we went after them. And, of course, the Arrietty is the best of the Italian divisions from what I understand. And some of their units actually outvalue the British units. So we hit them in the face with 22nd Armored. And I think what happened was Arrietty's chit got drawn early, and was really nothing I needed to do with them. So 22nd Armored hit them, and right in here at Bir El Gubi, and really not done anything. There might have been a couple casualties here, and I think actually the British probably took the worst of it. And then 7th Armored Brigade is moving now around behind them. So using random chit draw is going to make this interesting, because now British, so depending on how the chit draws go in the next phase, if the Arrietty should be fortunate enough to draw, they're going to need to back out before 7th Armored can pin them in. And the worst part about it, 7th Armored has a screening unit right there. So once the Arrietty hits this road, or within 3 hexes of that screen, it's going to slow them down anyhow. So it will depend on the chit draw. And then everything else up by Tobruk up here is locked. I mean, all of it. There was a boo-boo, and I had somebody, Rich, actually pointed out the errata to me that 70th Infantry Division up there in Tobruk, in the ring, they start off locked, because Afrika Division starts off locked, but it says their chit goes in the cup. So I'm confused on that one. Which is wrong, which is right? Is the Afrika Division locked, or are they able to activate? Well, when I saw the errata, when Rich told me with the errata that the 70th Infantry Division was locked, I figured, okay, but that makes sense for Afrika to be locked. So I'm thinking there's a boo-boo in the reinforcement, or in the activation chits for the game, for both, or for the 70th Infantry Division. And then there is, for the activation chits in the cup, I think it's wrong for the Afrika Division, because there's no reason for them to do anything until they're hit. So, all right, so anyhow, we got that going on. The only force that didn't really do anything, because like I said, they were done, was the 15th Panzer, which is sitting up there, and they're going to get mobile here in just a few minutes. And like I say, this is the campaign, so there's no damage to any of these guys. And then down here, we're sticking to somewhat of the game plan. That's the 11th. I don't even know what that is. 11th Brigade from the 4th Infantry Division, Indian Division. They're going to hit there. And then 4th Indian Division sitting down here. But also there's a bunch of forces that are going to come in on this turn. 3 big stacks. They're going to come in down here for the Allies. And I'll determine what to do with them as well as the chits get drawn and as I progress through this turn. All right, so game turn 1 out of 21 is done. I've got a split front for the attacking forces, one driving towards Bardia, and then one driving, to cut off the Arrietty Division, maybe deal with them. All right, so let's get some more gameplay done. We'll get this one posted so y'all can keep up, see what's going on. All right, it's Hexy. Give me some tips. Give me some advice. What should Cunningham do? All right, talk to y'all soon. Out.